I am 100% certain that I just saw this movie. It was called Immaculate, and it was way better than this. I think Satan needs to take a break from movies for a while. Here are my immediate thoughts on the first Omen. The First Omen is the latest prequel in the Omen franchise that started in 1976 with a great film, an okay second movie, a batshit third movie, and the rest have been shit. The film stars Nell Tiger as Margaret, an American woman set to work at a church in Rome in the 1960s who uncovers a sinister conspiracy to bring about the birth of the Antichrist. I don't know, man. We've been playing this game for a long time now, and I just saw Immaculate, and it's going to be impossible to compare the two films. So both of them have American nuns or women moving to Italy to bring themselves closer to God and do good work. But gotcha, bitch! It's all been a ruse, and the church is there to bring about absolute evil and the end of the world and a new world order. And that could be the plot of any religious horror movie over the past 30 years. Honestly, the film started with its best actor, Charles Dance, and then took a nosedive from there. Here are just some of the overplayed horror movie tropes that we got in this movie. Sudden banging on windows, evil accidents, evil Satan conception, strange and evil nuns, the obligatory confession scene, scary drawings done by weird and scary children, something jumping out of the dark, inexplicable things happening that people aren't able to explain and they don't reveal that information to anybody, rebellious nuns, and all of these happened within the first 15 minutes of this film. The last time I checked out of a movie this fast was The Exorcist Believer, and any film that reminds me of the shittiness of that is going to get points docked. Okay, to the performances. Nell Tiger, which I admit is a pretty badass name, stars as Margaret, and she's this American nun, and she's okay. She really doesn't have a whole lot to do. She's given a dark and mysterious past that within 3 lines of her introduction, I was pretty much able to call how things were going to turn out for her. And when this twist happens, the theater actually broke out in laughter. And unless you are a horror comedy, I don't think that's something that you want your movie to accomplish. But she didn't really add anything new. There's a scene where she's doing some demonic pop locking, which I'm not sure if it was supposed to be an homage of the 1981 psychological horror film Possession, which also has Sam Neill, who played Damien in The Final Conflict. Yeah, what a weird way to tie all of these things together. Notice, I'm doing everything I can to not talk about this movie. All the other actors, I didn't care for. I didn't care for the Cardinal. I didn't care for the rebellious nun friend. I didn't care for the young girl that Margaret's trying to help and save. I didn't care for any of the nuns. I didn't care about any of the children at this orphanage, which also functions as a school and a church and a mental health facility and a hospital. I've never had a movie location that is absolutely schizophrenic, but here we are. But seriously, what does this place do? Also, by this point, I think it's pretty safe to say that Satan really hates Italy, or Italy and Rome is just his cherry jam. Actually, there is one actress I want to talk about, and it is the young girl that plays Carlita, the scary girl that draws the scary pictures, and Margaret is actually trying to save from this evil church. I know this probably comes down to bad direction, but god damn, she is one of the worst actors I have seen in any major movie this year. Maybe even worse than the next door neighbor that likes to get fucked in Tyler Perry's Mea Culpa. Wow. The events of this film apparently also is interspliced with workers who are on strike and protesting, and the film is trying to make some thematic statement about there's all this rebelliousness in the world, and that is the reason that there is so much evil. No, it isn't the inappropriate touching of young children by priests. It isn't warmongers committing genocide across the globe. It isn't the unchecked and boundless greed by those that want to widen the wealth gap between the haves and the have-nots. It certainly isn't bigotry of any form, no. It's secularism that is making the world turn evil. As someone who left the church for his own personal reasons a long time ago, this movie can go fuck itself. I will say there are some moments of unintentional comedy in this film. There is a scene of the protests in Italy, and I don't know if this was intentional or not, but every single one of those protesters looked like Italian Renaissance era Jesus. That was just weird. There's another scene where Margaret is in a club with the rebellious nun, and she starts to feel the beat and tries to dance. She gets up and she starts to do this weird herky-jerky dance, and it is some Elaine Benes shit, and I absolutely died. This movie somehow thought that was sexy and attractive. Fuck me in the ass. There is one gnarly death that is absolutely hilarious, down to a character saying, "Oh no," in the most absolutely comical way. And even after that, this main character, this lady Margaret, still stays at this orphanage / church / hospital / mental health facility / school, whatever. Everything in this movie is telling Margaret to leave Italy and get the fuck out of Dodge, but she doesn't. The orphanage even gives her an out to leave and she doesn't take it, which, after seeing the movie and knowing the events of the plot, really doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Also, Carlita tends to act out violently, so the nuns punish her by putting her in the bad room, and this whole situation got the biggest laugh from me when it comes to dialogue. Margaret is very serious and stern, and she asks one of the nuns, "Why is there a bad room?" And the nun, with a straight face, responds with, "Because some girls are bad." Ralph Ineson, the father from The Witch, plays the good priest that discovers everything that's happening, and he serves as sort of the exposition dump in this film. And he's really a good actor, but you wouldn't be able to tell from this movie. Also, he's the one that sort of pushes Margaret to check out Carlita and try to save her, because there are always horrible things that happens around Carlita. Oh yeah, this movie literally rips off the "It's all for you" Damien scene from the original Omen. I was ready to walk out of this movie at that point. Fuck this film. This movie's messaging honestly is all over the place. I don't know if it's trying to say something about the restrictive nature of the church towards women, also how religion can take advantage of those with mental illness. Also, this movie is about the absolute right to choose. If you were raped by Satan, wouldn't you want an abortion? The ultimate plan here is revealed, and it's insane, and it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And one of the worst things it does, it tries to retcon certain parts of the original 1976 Omen. And there are some special effects that are absolutely laughable. There is a CGI jackal that is one of the worst things I have seen anyone do in any major motion picture this year. And of course, because if most of us know this is the Omen and this is a prequel, we kind of have an idea of how things are going to end, but the movie tries to throw some curveballs at us. But once it does the needle drop of Ave Satani from Jerry Goldsmith, I was already done, and I just wanted to strangle this movie to death. Overall, The First Omen just added more shit on the pile for this franchise. It was not scary, despite all its jump scares. The script was an unintentional comedic mess. I didn't care for any of the characters, and everything was more of the same goddamn tropes from religious horror movies, and I am absolutely done with this subgenre. This movie made me appreciate Immaculate even more because at least that movie tried to do something different. The First Omen is the best religious horror film of 2002. I'm just not scared or impressed by these films anymore. Fuck this movie. This is a bomb. If I see any more horror movies with the title Omen or Exorcist in it, Hollywood, we coming for you, Nick. Maybe leave the horror films to Shudder and the Independents. You've been doing it wrong, Hollywood, and you've been doing it wrong for a long time now. What did you think of The First Omen? Share your thoughts, leave your comments, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to hit that bell icon so you can get notifications as well. Thanks a lot, everyone. Take care.